Hi, y'all. This is Tim Flood from Rural Land Watch. And the question I'm going to answer today's question is, how can I close on land in Oklahoma and close fast? So I'm going to answer that in a little different way than you might think. And I'm going to tell you that in Oklahoma, buying land, in fact, really anywhere, you can close on land quickly, or you can close on land in the right way. And those are basically mutually exclusive, in my opinion. And let me just talk specifically about Oklahoma. As I've mentioned, I've done many parcel transactions in Oklahoma, so I know a little about it. So the bottom level way to close and buy land in Oklahoma or in any state is what you might call a quitclaim deed. And I've sort of affectionately called this the brother-in-law way. And so a lot of times this happens in families, and a dad, if he's ill or when he passes or before he passes, he will write a quitclaim deed to his children, his sons and daughters, and they will then own the ownership of the land. But the quitclaim deed is not a great guarantee legally. And so the way we've learned to buy and sell land is it's legally called fee simple title. And that's a fancy word. It goes back way back to English law. Fee simple title. That means that there's title insurance on the policy, and we always get a survey, and all of those things can stretch the process out, but I'm going to tell you why you need to do that. And so I just did some Googling here. This looks like a good site. This is actually from the state of Oklahoma, ok.gov abstractor. This is an FAQ page that will tell you an awful lot about it. So the thing in Oklahoma is that it's called an attorney abstract state, and that means that there has to be an attorney's opinion rendered against an abstract. And an abstract is a paper trail history of the land from its very inception, from statehood all the way up through present time. And every person who touched that land, legally speaking, is recorded in a deed of some kind in this abstract book. Many times they can be very thick. Depending, since 1907 is when Oklahoma came to statehood, and all of those transactions are added up. Then an attorney has to go through that and review it and look for clouds on the title, and everything that happens within the realm of the human experience. People die, people get married, people get divorced, people have children, and then the children, they don't get along with them. And all of those things that happen in our lives will impact the legal ownership of this property. And so many times what can happen is someone has been paying their property taxes on it, but they are not, in fact, the actual owner or have a legal interest in the property. And so the only way to do that in Oklahoma is through this abstract attorney's opinion process. We have looked for all kinds of different ways to speed up the process, and there really, as far as I know, is not one. Let me move on. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's take our county map of Oklahoma here, and let's take Pushmataha. When I first got started buying and selling land, I did several in Pushmataha County, and let's just look up Pushmataha County abstract company. And again, Mays County is another one, so we can just do this. There it is right there, Mays County. Google knows what we're looking for. So you can find an abstract and title company in any county you want to buy land in. So in this case, here's their thing, and you would just call them up. And the first step is to locate the legal description and parcel number. We talked about that already. I made a short video on that. You would need there's a step I found, a step-for-step thing. Where's that other site? Here it is. This is also another, just a quick Google search revealed me this website, tulsalawyer.com, transactional, obtaining title to real property in Oklahoma. So he goes through it all here, everything. The abstract of title must be located and brought to date by a licensed and bonded abstractor. So the first step is to have here, letter A, real estate contract between buyer and seller. They will not do any work without that contract. Then secondly, you have to have this abstract of title. So if you're the landowner, the first thing to do is to call the local abstract company and find out if a copy of the abstract already exists or if it does not exist. If it does not exist, it will have to be created from scratch. And that just takes what it takes. You get in queue. It's like you draw a number, you get in the queue, and then they get to you when they can get to you. And if they're working on homes, and if you're in a busy county like Tulsa County, you find small towns, you find big cities, you find all kinds of levels of competence and people that work in the title and abstract industry. And the process takes what it takes. But I can tell you the danger to that is if you do not do it in the most correct way, you can end up with all kinds of legal problems. And again, you will not own, so you've paid money for something that you think you own, but you really don't. I've ended up with all kinds of problems. I bought 2 acres once thinking it was 7 acres because I didn't bother to pay for a survey. So always get the land surveyed. I had a situation once, I thought that I could go back in time. All the deeds and legal stuff is recorded here at okcountyrecords.com. This can be a great site. I have a subscription to it. You can research all this and look up all the deeds and all the information that's available. And I thought I was smart enough to figure it out. And I bought a property that a woman didn't really own. And I had to chase down sons and daughters from another man and get their signatures and an issue with the Bureau of Indian Affairs. And it was a mess. It took me 6 months to get through that property and close it and sell it. When if I'd have just done it the proper way to begin with, it would have gone a lot easier. So that's a very quick answer. I was talking very fast. This is a very complicated subject, and I'm not really qualified legally to answer that many questions, but that is my experience. And so I would just encourage anyone buying land in Oklahoma to always get a survey and take the thing through abstract and title. And that's the best way to buy a property in Oklahoma. So I hope this helps. And if you've got any further questions or comments, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Tim@rurallandwatch.com. Thanks.